If you're watching this video right now, chances are that you are trying to get into data analytics, or you are already a data analyst and you're looking to change job. Regardless of where you are, data analysts earn different amounts depending on where they live. In this video, we're going to focus on data analytics salaries in the UK, specifically in London, how much they earn from junior level to director level or chief data officer, and how to leverage your skill and expertise to decide where to move to get the best salary that you can. Hello, I'm Tommaso Lucentini. I work in recruitment, specifically in an agency that works with marketing, digital, and e-commerce professionals. And I lead data analytics recruitment, which means that I work with fantastic brands that people would love to work with. And I see a lot of different salary ranges that companies pay. And therefore, I speak to different people that work in different industries, in different roles, and I know what everybody's earning and what companies are willing to pay and where the middle gap is. In this video, I share some data that I discovered over the past 3 years, and I'm ready to tell you everything you need to know to understand how to position yourself in the best way in the data market in London. Let's jump into it now. So this report will show you exactly how much people are earning in different sectors and with different skills. And we are going to talk about different salary growth strategies that you can apply in your career and where to find opportunities that pay the most. Spoiler alert, there are two industries that are driving the best salaries in the UK. If you are new to data analytics and you're trying to get a new job, or you are in the first couple of years of your experience, there's something that you need to know. Obviously, your starting salary will depend from a lot of factors. But realistically, people from 0 to 2 years of experience can go from 25 to 30k, which is the starting salary in data analytics in London and in the UK, to around 40 to 45k, depending on where you work. And it depends from a lot of factors. How lucky are you to find the right job that pay the right amount? But in reality, which industry you go to, where you studied, and what's your starting level of technical skills? SQL, Python, statistics, what are you able to do? And obviously, how good are you in selling yourself during the first interview? So usually salaries start from 25 to 30, but in reality, 30k kind of starting salary the people get in analytics after university. And roughly they get to around 40k around the second year of experience. Tech, fintech, financial services, retail, bigger companies, or even startups and scale-ups that are going quite well usually pay quite a lot more than others. And if you work in a small to medium enterprise that hire data analytics professionals, you might get towards the bottom end of the range. So if we break it into categories, London and tech combined are the best salary levels that you can get. And you can get around 50k as well if you are around 2 years of experience. And the same as financial services if you work in a bank or if you work in a startup or scale up. Retail or other sectors pay a bit less, around probably 35 to 40, but you should finish your first couple of years of experience with a salary around 35 to 50, depending on where you work and where you live. If we're moving towards the third year of experience, then you're already mid-level, and therefore the average salary that I've seen in companies within the retail or tech sector is around 45k, which is the amount that people with 3 years of experience are looking for whenever they change roles. This is something that I learned over the last few years, and I'm recruiting for a lot of different roles in different ranges, and people with 3 years of experience are around 45k. Obviously, you start taking on more complex projects, you start working independently, and you can use your technical skills to then drive insights. So you start becoming more important if you are in the 3 to 4 years of experience. And then usually people around 4 to 5 years of experience even start managing people. Therefore, the salary start increasing and you start mentoring junior people, and therefore your productivity affects other people as well. And obviously you start taking decisions that are quite important for the business. So if we are talking about 2 to 3 years of experience, the starting average salary is 45k, but people can get around 55 to 60k salary. And then if you're thinking about 3 to 5 years, people should be around 55k salary. And I've seen people with 5 years experience that are already at 75 to 85k, depending on where they work. Obviously, tech and fintech is the sector that pays the most. But in the first 3 years of your career, you should see an impressive 55% growth based on where you started to wherever you are right now. If we see the senior specialist salary by sector, we can see that tech pays the most together with fintech, and we are around the 70 to 75k mark. And in the lower range is around the 45 to 50k range. But if we're seeing salaries in the retail field or in small and medium enterprises, then salaries are around 65k and basic salaries are around 40. And in public sector is usually the one that doesn't get paid that much, unfortunately, if you are in that sector. But fintech are always driving the best salaries in the UK. Let's say you are in a crossroad now where you have 5 to 6 years of experience. You can take two different career paths, either the senior individual contributor or the management route. Usually salary doesn't change that much if you are a senior individual contributor or a manager, because we have 5 to 10 years of experience range where people are usually either really good in whatever they do, therefore are a super strong individual contributor. And usually we see those kind of roles in tech companies or very big companies where they can afford to have people that just do their job and drive insights. Whilst you are in other teams and in other industries like retail or e-commerce, people are usually managing other people. There is scope to manage people, but the salary level in that case, whether you manage people or not, doesn't change that much. If you decide to take on the management route, then there are different levels that you can get into. Usually there are 3: manager, head, or another kind of lead or principal level, which is usually done for individual contributors. If we talk about manager or head of analytics, an analytics manager that usually have between 5 and 8 years of experience is usually on around £70,000 mark. Obviously, we are just talking about base salary. There are a lot of other factors that contribute to the overall package, but in terms of base salary, this is where usually managers are at. Obviously, there are more experienced managers, but if you are between 5 and 8 years of experience, the average salaries that I've seen in management are around £30,000. If we're talking about head of analytics, £100,000 is the average salary that I'm seeing in people that are usually in the first head of position. Obviously, they are, again, very experienced head of analytics, and they are around 130 to 150k range, depending on which sector they are. Again, guess what? Tech, financial services, investment banking, insurance, they always pay more than others. And also startups and scale-ups, they are doing really well. They have substantial investment. Another very interesting level is a director. A director is usually somebody that has at least 10 years of experience from what I'm seeing, unless you work in an agency environment where titles are a bit different, or in a company that has a different title hierarchy than others. But usually directors that work in large enterprises earn between 130 and 150k as a starting director position. But I've seen directors paid 150, 180, or even 200k, and usually that's in big tech companies or scale-ups. In the public sector, salaries at director level are not extremely high. We are talking about 80 to 120k, and usually directors have a really important bonus or equity package that can leverage their salary much more. So what are we learning from this short discovery? Your salary will have a rapid growth from the start of your career in data to the first 5 to 6 years. Usually you can see a 55% increase or even 100% if you are on a 30k salary as a starting salary, and then you're really good in changing to an industry that pay more and you are around 60 to 70k. So we can see a 50 to 100% increase in salaries. And just to give you an example, I worked on a data analytics lead for the same company where when we hired for the first time, the salary was £60,000, and in 1 year and 6 months afterwards, they increased the salary to £70,000. Because the salary level that data analytics people are looking for is increasing with inflation, of course. But a few years ago, salaries were lower, now they're higher, and we can see how they are constantly increasing. We don't expect any sudden increase that will change everything, but salaries in data analytics will consistently rise. There's a big demand, even if there is AI that comes into play. Data analysts are always important, and usually with AI, they will be able to take more and more work and become more and more productive. And with technical skills, they can also change into another professional like data science and earn even more, but that's another video. And then industry and skills matter. You can be a data analyst that maybe just knows how to use Excel in terms of technical skills, but is really good with commercial skill, commercial awareness, stakeholder management, communication, and therefore doesn't need much of other technical skills to then develop really good insights for the company. And then there are people who are even closer to maybe data science or data engineering, and they are usually very good with technical skills. Python, SQL, they can help engineers. They can make sure that all the data that the other analysts need is in place. So depending on the technical skills, depending on the industry you're looking for, the salaries change a lot. And location is a premium, of course. London is a place that has the highest salaries, and we all know why. So data analytics salaries can change a lot. And if we talk about a chief data officer, then we are going always around 180 to 200K mark base salary upwards. There are not many chief data officers, but there are people who sit on the board who take very important decisions, and therefore it's right that they get compensated in the right way. I hope this video has been helpful. As I mentioned before, I work with different companies that pay different amount of money, and sometimes I see companies that pay a totally different salary compared to others, and I see people that earn a completely different salary based on other people that are in the same position. It's always really hard to exactly say how much you're worth. We can have a range that will allow you to understand somehow where you are with salaries or where you should be, but it's really hard to exactly pinpoint what is your exact worth in the market. There are people that work companies like TikTok or McKinsey or Amazon or Wise or financial services company that have really high salaries, or people who work in American companies that pay an American premium because salaries are usually in line with the peers in the US, and those companies pay a lot more. And then there are companies that, even though they are very well known and you think they paid amazingly, then actually they're not. And it all depends from a lot of different factors, but if you want to have the best chances to land the best salaries that you can, you should always see where you are and assess yourself in a critical way. Understand which level of technical skills do you possess, how much impact and influence you have in a company, how much can you help senior leaders to understand data, how much can you support junior analysts, but also people within your category to understand data and upskill on their skills to then have bigger impact. So having a critical assessment of your skills is really important to understand how to move. But as a general rule of thumb, if you are in a sector that doesn't pay much, it's really important that you try to change sector if you like it, to then be able to get paid a lot more. Obviously, at a tech level or financial services, competition is really high. There are people who want to work there because they know salaries are good, or maybe they like the sector as well. And competition is very high, but if you have the right amount of technical skills, if you can manage to sell yourself, if your CV shows the transferable skills that you have, and if you have passion for it, then you are able to do everything. I'll finish this video by saying that if you need any help, just write a message below, or you can go to our website at threesearch.co.uk, where we prepared a salary survey and a salary report that is based on thousands of respondents, and you can understand your worth even more. And obviously hit like and subscribe to the video so that you can see more videos like this. And if you want to contact me on LinkedIn to understand how can you improve your salary, then contact me on LinkedIn. The link is on the description below. And I wish you a great salary negotiation, career change, or I hope you're in the right salary level based on your years of experience. Thank you again, and see you again soon.